Fatality moves, I make it bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the welcome to the latest installment of TSWS and of BullSittin on TSWS Gaming. This week, we have Xbox failing to live up to the legendary event that was the 2023 Developer Direct. Square Enix bitching about a very valid comparison with Splatoon, and Satya Nadella using the English language to both confirm and deny that Xbox is going third party. Well played, Satya. Well played. I'm your host, Loke7, and joining me today is eventually the lovely Nintendo God Cozy Beluga, Mr. Behind Them Sticks, Ham Solo, and the man that likes games more than anyone alive, Mr. Matt Likes Games, and our special guest, the most famous Islander after Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Mr. Uso Vinny.
Hello.
Welcome in, Jen. Ham does not look pleased, like at all.
Wow.
You good, Ham?
No, I just woke up. I'm sorry.
Wow. He just said
That's
you
cool.
had
That's cool.
resting,
Cool.
you know
you
what?
made it. That's what's important. Hey, Cozy's here. We're gonna see the camera at some point.
What? Who camera?
Cozy,
Yes?
you there?
Yeah.
There she is. All right. So X-Man came in here first. Thank you so much for hopping on to X-Man. Mr. Joanna, Doug, Vincent Vega, Timmy,
Whoop,
Too
whoop.
Big,
What up, Tim?
Boogeyman. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for coming in. Appreciate the support. Let's get into it. But before we partake in this week's session of digital savagery,
Ooh.
Cozy, tell me, how are you feeling, Rose?
Absolutely.
Why? Please don't tell us it's because you're the size of the planet.
Oh, no. I don't know why it's doing that. No, I
Playing
really don't.
Starfield?
No, it's an image. I'm feeling rosy
Very
because I've had a very
image.
it's an image though. It's just showing my desktop for whatever reason.
Okay.
I've had a really great week.
Nice.
Why? What happened?
Just very productive. Oh, I figured it out. Very productive. You never have a productive week. Also, I'm on the mend. I still can't really walk very well, but my torn ligament is no longer torn, at least.
All right.
Nice.
All right. That's good. Progress. Baby steps. Vincent, I'm playing Ragnarok. I just paused because I had to do the show as well, but I couldn't switch off the PlayStation. I don't know how to quickly do it the way I can do it on the Xbox, but that's
because
topic for another
PlayStation is
day.
better. You don't want to turn off PlayStation.
No, actually, the Xbox is better in that specific point. You can easily turn off your Xbox without even turning on the TV.
Oh yeah, because there's nothing to play.
It's finicky. Wow. Miss Starfield over here. All right.
Are you saying that the
So,
PlayStation has a garbage UI? Has an absolutely terrible UI?
yes.
Are you
Yes,
saying
it
that?
does. It looks nice. It
Just one of
looks
the
nice,
most
not very
trash
functional.
UIs ever?
Okay, Matt.
Wow.
You can stop. You can stop.
I can't believe that.
Welcome in. Welcome in, Sarge. Why so serious? Comes in here laughing, obviously. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Round of applause for Cozy Beluga. This is the last Friday before the big Friday, right? So next week, Friday, Cozy Beluga is gonna have a developer direct-esque situation on TSWS Gaming. We're all gonna just move over to the side, and she is going to present the magnificence that is her comic book, right? Not done yet, but it's going to be a developer direct or writer direct. So get ready, get your money sorted, right? Get your credit card details. So when she starts sending the links, y'all can start sending in the paper. All right. All right. That's good. Anyways, Uso,
Yes, sir.
is it, am I mistaken, or is this your first time on BullSittin?
First time ever. First time ever on They Said We Said in general.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I just
Oh, fresh
assumed the
blood.
hand did behind them sticks as well. All right. All right. Well, welcome in. Sir X-Man already with the messy super chat. Please put Loke on Xbox text channel like IGN. All right. All right. Thank you for the super chat, Sir X-Man. Thank you. Already messy. Okay. Uso, there's a couple of questions. Although we all follow each other on social media here, right? We all know who you are. You know who we are, but
I
for
don't know
everyone
who
else in
he
the chat that
is.
doesn't know, yeah, sure. For everyone else in the chat that
Shut up,
doesn't know who you are,
Cozy.
Uso, we have a couple of questions for you, just so everyone can break the ice and see more or less who you are and what you're about, right?
Sure.
So Uso, in a short story or long story, whichever one you prefer, whichever one you're more comfortable with, tell us, how did you fall in love with gaming?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's easy. When I was a kid, when I was like about 4 or 5, my dad bought a Nintendo 64 kind of bundle. This is from one of his buddies, and bought all of his games too. So I started on the N64. Played like all my favorite games were like Star Wars Squadrons and Pokemon Coliseum. Like played all those like Nintendo games on Super Smash, the original Super Smash. And then eventually when I got a little bit older, my dad bought a PS2, which I think is the greatest console of all time, had the best games. Just like I know people may disagree, but just the catalog of games on the
Okay,
PS2 is
answering the
just
questions
amazing.
already.
And then I got the
All right.
OG Xbox. After that, from one of my uncles, and ever since then, I've been an Xbox fan and stuck with Xbox since the OG Xbox, and kind of let go of PlayStation until the PS5 because PS3 at the time was like super expensive when it launched, and my dad didn't want to pay like $700 for a PS3, so got me a 360 instead, and
That worked
so I
out well,
became an
right?
Xbox. Yes, sir.
All right. Listen, no one's perfect. All right. No one's perfect. So fell in love with, that's how you fell in love with gaming. All
Not,
right. So what's the best
especially not
game?
PlayStation. Especially not
What
PlayStation.
Uso, what is the best game of all time? Not a genre,
Oh,
not
Knights of the
a
Old Republic.
franchise, one game. Sorry?
Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars on the OG
Oh,
Xbox.
damn. Okay.
That's
That's a
I
good
play that
choice of
game
choice.
once a year, every year. Greatest
To the end?
stories ever told, all the way to the end,
To the
from the
end.
beginning to the end, once a
Wow.
year.
You are Revan. You are Revan. Damn.
It's my favorite
Every
Star Wars
year.
character ever. Yep.
All right. Next we have, what is the best console of all time? You already answered. You told us the PS2.
PS2.
Correct?
Yeah, PS2.
All right.
Still think
All
PS2.
right. The man has sense. The man has sense. The last one is the least controversial, right? What is the best current console? So the PS5, Series X or S, or the Switch? Which
I
one's the
gotta
best
say
console?
PC.
Whoa.
No, console, not platform. We said console.
Console, I think, PS5 is pretty good. The Switch is really good. As far as like multiplayer, like for me, the main thing is multiplayer and bang for your buck. So it's Xbox for me. Just has the
Okay.
best like multiplayer platform. It's the most social, and with Game Pass,
The best
really,
UI.
just
What about PS Plus?
uh,
What about PS Plus? PS Plus is a
PS
subscription
PS
service.
No one
Plus,
cares.
PS Plus.
Literally just
Well,
raise the price.
the thing about they just raised the prices and they don't do day and dates and they haven't really changed anything about the service. And it's just like,
Man,
with PlayStation, like whenever I play on PlayStation, like I'm playing by myself. Like I'm not in a party chat. I'm not in, anything like that. And as far as I know, like most of my like PlayStation only buddies, it's kind of the same deal. Except for like a few that play with each other like every day.
okay. Too big with the member chat says PC Master Race. We all
PC, yeah.
understand that PC is
Too
the
big.
best
I got my
platform.
4090 today, buddy.
Oh,
Clearly,
shit.
PC is the best platform. No one's gonna fight you here. But we're talking about consoles, right? Lady Foxfire, you're so wholesome. Why would you go rogue in the comments, Lady Foxfire? What are you doing?
Why
My
would
brother
she say
Kojima,
things that are
Mr. Joanna,
true?
my brother in Kojima, Mr. Joanna Dark says PS Plus is like Aloy's personality, dead of any value.
Oh my god.
All right. You know what? Let's just get into it. So we're gonna start off with the developer direct.
Let's go.
Everything announced. Obviously it's coming from IGN, right? So that everything announced. We're gonna go in the sequence that IGN deems best, which is obviously the best sequence. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle officially revealed. Me and Ham kind of went at it last night. I'm not sure if me and him are still friends, but I'd like to get your guys' take on this one. Uso, what are your thoughts on Indiana Jones?
I was actually like pleasantly surprised by it. Last week on the KY Bob Show, Game Talks Live, is what he likes to call it. I called that it was going to be first person, only because it's like it wouldn't really make sense for machine games to do third person. It's not their
Yeah, it's like
territory.
Naughty Dog doing a first person. Doesn't make sense.
Exactly, it doesn't make sense. Like they do what they do best. But as far as like the game, I wasn't really interested in Indiana Jones when it was announced, but the game looks really freaking good. And Troy Baker as Harrison Ford, quote unquote Indiana Jones. He does a really good job. Like I was actually really surprised with how well he voiced young Harrison Ford. And yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it now. I thought the combat looked great. I thought first person was a really good move. It's a bold move, so not everybody's gonna like it, but I'm glad they went that route.
All right, Matt, Indy, thoughts?
Because me and Ham had the show the day before, and we were both certain it was going to be third person. And I had like a little bit of skepticism because of something that I think it was Rand on Xbox 2 said. And whenever they started their whole presentation, the way they worded it was like, okay, this is obviously first person. And I was very, very skeptical of that. But by the end of it, I'm kind of like Vinny, where like I wasn't like I was interested in Indiana Jones game, but I wasn't really hyped or anything. I was vaguely interested. And then by the end of that presentation, I mean, Avowed is my most anticipated game this year, Indy might be my second. It might be Hellblade for me. So
Really? Hellblade, nice.
they crushed it with that presentation, and I went from being cautious about a first person indie game to being like, that's the right move. That's the right move. You guys nailed it. So I'm 100% on board with Indiana Jones.
All right, Cozy, Indy.
Yes.
Thoughts?
I don't have any. As someone who has absolutely no interest in Indiana Jones, I'm not gonna play it. I will say that whip action looked amazing.
Yeah.
That whip action looked really amazing. I was like, oh yeah. I mean, if it wasn't like Indiana Jones, I might actually be interested in it. But that whip action looked amazing.
Wait, what's your problem with Indiana
I
Jones?
just
don't
don't
understand.
care about it. It's like you can make, like I said this before, like about, like, say, Spider-Man. You can make the best Spider-Man game ever, but it's still Spider-Man. I don't care.
So you care that it's an IP you don't care about. You don't care that it's a good game.
I care that it's a good game and that I think, games should be good, but it's just like, if I don't care about the subject matter, like I have other games I can play that, I do care about the subject matter.
You literally took exactly what I said and used different words to come to the same conclusion.
But yeah.
Because you don't care about the IP, no matter how good this game is, Cozy's out. For real?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Damn. Okay. Ham, are we still friends after our disagreement last night about Indiana Jones?
Oh, sure. I mean, I don't see what that has to do with being friends.
Damn.
For now.
Sure? Just sure. Damn. Like no love, no enthusiasm, nothing. Just go on, man.
I just woke up. You're definitely not going to get enthusiasm.
God damn. All right. So we got Indiana Jones. Next we have Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 finally gets a release date.
Wait, what's Ham's thoughts on Indy?
Okay, go ahead.
Really?
What are your thoughts on Indy?
That's not my thoughts on that. That's just what you guys took.
Ham, what are your thoughts on Indy?
I think it looks awesome. Like,
God damn it. You're still on that one.
It looks like a great game. It surprised me, of course, because like Matt just got done saying, we were expecting or I was expecting it to be third person, but they seem to have figured out a way to weasel in a little bit of third person, because part of my reason behind them not doing first person was like, for some people, like they not really understand who they're playing as, but like if you're climbing, you're doing all these certain actions and it promotes you to pull back the camera and show off Indiana Jones doing whatever he's doing at the time, and then go back into first person. I think that's kind of interesting. That's not something that you really see very often. So I think that's pretty cool. As Cozy mentioned, the whip action looked amazing. The bloody knuckles, the different types of all the different types of fighting, including like dual wielding. That stuff looked really cool. I thought the graphics and everything within the game were pretty nice. Was it the most stunning game I've ever seen in my life? No, I give that to Hellblade. But was it beautiful enough for me to want to like play and really get into? Absolutely. It's still up there with one of the better looking games of this generation. So I don't know where people are going with this whole idea that it doesn't look that good. It looks really good. Let's see. I do like how many different ways they have the action scenes in there, like the blimp, the plane where you're shooting and then you jump off of it onto another plane, and like it looks like the game may have that like moment that you got in Uncharted 2 where you're like dangling from the train. I'm expecting something like that in the Indiana Jones movie, in the sense of like just
Yeah, your
just like
game.
shock and
Okay.
awe, because that moment in Uncharted 2 where you're just dangling from the train was like a whoa moment.
Yeah.
Ham, I'm not saying this because I'm trying
Then
to
don't say it.
salvage my friendship with you, right?
Just
I'm not
don't
saying
say
it because I'm trying to I'm trying to not get blocked by you, right? But I rewatched the showcase in 4K, and Indy looks very nice.
I
It
know.
looks better than Wolfenstein Youngblood.
I
So I
know.
take
Isn't
back
that
what I
crazy?
said yesterday.
Did you say it
I
didn't?
take back what I said yesterday.
Oh my god.
My God, look,
He was making a fool out of
and
himself
also
yesterday.
that's
and
tragic.
also the whole first person thing, it's a nice little twist on the genre. We've seen Lara Croft do it. We've seen Uncharted. This will be interesting, and the fights. I'm curious to see how that will work out, like how it'll actually work in real time. And yeah, I'm not as down on it as I was yesterday, right? My score for Indy right now, right before I play it, is an 8 out of 10. Ham, what's your score for what you saw of Indiana Jones? And then we'll go to Uso.
Same thing I said last night. I give it a 9 off of just
All
what I
right.
seen. It could go up or down based on, you know, how it's executed and how it plays, but I'm gonna go with a 9 for right now.
All right. Sir X-Man, thank you so much for the super chat. No thank you for all the cap, but here goes. Sir X-Man says Indiana Jones looks better than the new Metal Gear. Okay, sure.
But
Uso, what's
yeah,
your score for?
It
Well, I
does.
mean, I don't know if I
It does look better.
disagree.
I mean, one's a game.
Oh my goodness, Cozy.
That's
I saw
true.
you dance. I saw
You
you
mean the
dance to Two Big's comment here about you being right.
do you mean the old Metal Gear? Is
No, he's talking about
we're
the
not getting a
remake
new
of
one? Yeah, the old
MGS3.
one. Yeah, the old
The
one.
remake.
It's a
We're talking about the
remake,
remake.
dude.
Yeah, the old one.
It might as well. Oh my goodness. You
Yeah,
know
the old
what?
one.
Uso, what's your score? So we can keep it moving.
Uh,
What's your
I
score?
would say 9. Yeah, for me, from
9.
Indiana
Wow.
Jones.
Okay. Matt, Indiana Jones, what's your score?
I go 9 because they surprised me with the first person and it looks awesome.
All right. Cozy, what's your score?
Also a 9.
What? You said you don't care, Cozy.
Just because I don't like a game doesn't make it like terrible looking and
God
terrible.
damn
Like
it.
I can objectively separate like I don't like a thing and still be like it's
But
good
it's
on its
awesome.
own merits.
Damn it. I thought you were gonna help me drag the score down. All right.
Sorry.
Next we had Senua Saga Hellblade 2 finally gets a release date. Uso, what are your thoughts on what we saw from Senua Saga, and what's your score for it?
I thought, I'm not really too interested in Hellblade 2 just because I wasn't really that interested in the first game. It looks good. I mean, I think just for the price tag alone, I'd give it a 9. Like $50 matches the kind of game time experience with it. So, and it's pretty bold to make it like a big AAA title of less than $70 in today's economy.
Less than 60 at this point, which is wild.
Yeah, less than 60 is wild.
All right. Senua gets a good score because it's cheap. Matt, what are your thoughts on Senua Saga? Hey, man, you said it, not me. Matt,
It's fairly
what's your
priced, not
score?
cheap.
Yeah.
What's your score for Senua Saga? What are your thoughts on Senua Saga?
I mean, my score, I guess it would be, I mean, just kind of sounds samey, but I would probably go 9. I mean, I'm hyped for it. I knew I was hyped for it. The only thing that made me more hyped for it from this was the fact that we got a release date. Like, I didn't need to see the game again,
Yes.
but they showed it to me, and I'm fine
Yes.
with that. I'm totally fine with that. So I'm happy we got the release date. I give it a 9. It looks fantastic. The big news obviously being it's $50, and everybody's freaking out about the no physical release, which we might talk about later. But like for $50, I think that's smart because there's a lot of games I've played. I played one recently, not to name a game, but I played one recently where it's like I spent 2 days playing it and it was $70, and then I'm not gonna touch it again. And it kind of like it's a great
What game is
game.
this?
You can figure it out. You can figure that out. It's on PlayStation. But
Did you buy The
Wow.
Last of Us? You idiot. Did you buy The Last of Us Part 2?
I did buy the upgrade. I did, and I'll be playing that
Oh
later
my
tonight, buddy.
Lord.
Be playing it later tonight. I'll be playing that roguelike
Terrible.
part.
Terrible.
But
What an L.
But that's a W, bud. And back to the topic of Hellblade 2. I mean, yeah, it's a smart move. If you're gonna keep it relatively the same length as the first game, make it $50. Make the best game you possibly can, and make it $50. I'm that is amazing, and more games and more publishers should be doing that. Should be pricing it based on the experience.
That's a 9 for you then.
Yes.
All right. Cozy, Hellblade 2.
Uh,
Score and thoughts.
I'm going to say for Hellblade 2, I'm going to give it a 7.
Why?
My final thoughts are it looks like Hellblade, which is a plus for the people who like it, but it still looks like, oh, this game is more of a technical marvel than an actual cool experience that I would say,
Actual
man,
game.
that's a game.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that's a 7. Ham? Hellblade 2 score and thoughts. Sorry.
I give it a 9.5.
9.5.
Yeah.
Why, sir? So bit high.
Because I know what it is. It's gonna be better than the last, and the last one was good. Is that good enough? That simple?
Yeah. The last one, in my opinion, and this might be out there, the first Senua Saga game, in my opinion, is one of the all-time classic games of all time. It's one of the best games ever made. Yes. Top 100, no doubt about it. I don't know who has to get out, but it's in the top 100, in my opinion. Yeah, Cozy, you can make that face. It's fine. Raichi says 9 out of 10. All right. Next we had the game to surpass all RPGs. Obsidian gives a deep dive on Avowed and release window revealed. Also,
What were you really
Vinny,
gonna say there,
what's
bud?
your score? What's your score, and what are your thoughts on Avowed?
So with the showing alone of Avowed, I thought it looked really, really
Yeah.
good. I thought the combat looked really good. I just want to see more of like it kind of looks linear though, like just because they keep showing us the same like desert area or the same caves, same grass, like same enemies, and I'm just like, okay, I want to see like what the cities look like. I want to see what the questing looks like, you know. So I think for Avowed, I give it like between like a 7.5 to an 8 for the showing.
7.5 to an 8, and they need to show more gameplay. I think that's
show
fair.
more of the game.
Matt.
Show more of the game, yeah.
Matt, score for Avowed and thoughts on it. Welcome in, Arshus. Welcome in, bro.
I'm Again, Sammy, I'm keeping it at 9 because they showed me dual wielding ones. They showed me dual wielding ones, and I wasn't expecting that, and that's
That
pretty
did something for
badass.
you, huh?
Yes.
Just
Plus, it's my most anticipated game. So yeah.
all right. Look just gave the original score because it was all PlayStation. At the time, no one bought it on PlayStation. That's why it's on Xbox now. Oh my goodness. Are you serious right now? I
PlayStation
can't
guys
even
don't buy
compliment
games.
Hellblade. I can't even compliment Hellblade because apparently, oh my goodness. All right. All right. Cozy Beluga, Avowed, score and tell us why.
I honestly will give that one a 9. I admit that one is partially inflated because Obsidian.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
But I saw a lot of people talking about the combat, and I was looking at it and I was like, this looks like they took lessons from Grounded and ran with it. And I like that. So
If you look at the player count for Grounded, that doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Yeah, that's gonna be a headline. Huh?
but yeah, I liked what I saw. I'm hoping, to see more in the future, but I really like the world, that world.
Yeah. Ham, Avowed, score, and why?
I gave it an 8.8 because it was prettier than I anticipated, and the reason I didn't give it like anything higher than that is because it seems like when it starts out, the animate. And I was telling you this, Loke, yesterday. Like the animations are kind of like they're kind of weird, a little clunky at first.
Floaty is the word a lot of people are using.
But as the game develops and you get more powers, the animations then develop to be pretty cool until what actually happens to them when they're getting hit and stuff like that. So that was something that I put a hit on, but also gave extra points to as well. Just because as it develops. The world itself, like I said, looks really good. It looks like it's going to be kind of a like a really big game, and it looks like it's going to take a while to really get through and beat all the different stuff. I like all of the combination of weapons that you could use with it. Gun, wand, dual wand, um, sword, and
Can you imagine
just
dual
whatever.
wielding swords? That sounds nice.
It
Lo-
does sound nice.
it's a lot
Bow
of
and
replay
arrow
value
as
there.
well. In the game,
Yep,
which is
yep.
pretty cool for range combat. Yeah, it just looks like it's going to be a pretty fun game. It it I feel like very much like Vinny said, I kind of need to see a little bit different atmosphere. Like just show me a different piece of the scenery, change the scenery or whatnot. But yeah, the way the characters talked in the game was really interesting, and like I thought the voiceovers were kind of amazing when I was watching it.
Mm.
So shout out to the folks over there doing putting in that work for that. But yeah, I like the game. I think it's gonna be really good.
All right. Well, usually I just move on to the next topic, but I need to add my 2 cents on this one. It's Obsidian, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Anyone that knows anything about RPGs, if you don't own an Xbox, buy an Xbox, get Avowed. Just don't listen to what people are saying. I fell down that rabbit hole. I saw a bunch of people talking about no, Skyrim looks better today. It plays better. It feels better. I just you know how the algorithm is. The algorithm took me down that rabbit hole, and then it pushed me onto a video by GameSpot where they put Skyrim right next to Avowed, and it's embarrassing. Anyone that says Skyrim looks better than Avowed right now. Like, Ham, you were questioning my credibility yesterday. I'm not questioning your credibility if you're making that comparison and you think Avowed comes out the loser. If that's what the outcome is, in your opinion, that Avowed does not look better than Skyrim, then I'm not even questioning. You have negative credibility. You are worse than someone's grandma that doesn't even know how to connect to the Wi-Fi. Sir X-Man, thank you so much for the super chat. No one complained about Avowed being first person. Yeah. And can you show me Indiana Jones in Avowed? Come on, Sir X-Man. Come on.
I think Avowed,
Context, bruv.
that's also because, like, as much as I love Obsidian, there are a lot, everything they make is way more niche than
Indie.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, I don't know, I just love Obsidian. Like, I mean, my personal thing is I did have issue with it being first person, but that's only because I really love isometric games, and Pillars of Eternity is amazing.
Have you played Baldur's Gate?
I have no interest in Baldur's Gate.
She hates it.
I don't like I don't like
what?
So I have no interest in really D&D worlds, and I also, so specifically the reason I like Pillars of Eternity is because if you've played it, the world is more like gothic fantasy, which I really love, as opposed to just straight like boring D&D style fantasy. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Moving on, Square Enix shared updates on Visions of Mana that's coming summer 2024. Uso, was this surprise as breathtaking as Hi-Fi Rush? Okay, sorry, that wasn't fair. I'm sorry. What's your score? What's your score for Visions of Mana, and why?
I thought it looked good. Reminds me of Tales of Arise, kind of like the action JRPG, with like combos and whatnot. But
I still need to play that.
I don't know. I don't know why they showed Visions of Mana at the show. I think we all kind of knew Visions of Mana was going to come to Xbox anyways.
It felt out of place, right?
Yeah, it felt super out of place. Like, it didn't feel like it was supposed to be there. And it was very long, too. It was a long segment. I think it was like 10 minutes. Like, it wasn't like a quick thing. It was like they gave them like a full like first-party treatment with showing off their game. So, I don't know.
I low-key thought they were going to put Game Pass at the end of it. I thought they were just going to add Game Pass.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
If it wasn't on Game Pass, like, well, I don't really get why it was.
What are we doing?
Yeah, like, what is this?
So your score is a 5 for Visions of Mana.
Yeah, 5. Not because of the game, just because I just don't think it belonged there, and it took long. Yeah. They took a lot of time.
All right, Matt, what's your score for Visions of Mana, and why?
7, and a lot for the same reason that Vinny just said. Like, I don't. The fact that you showed that, like, we can all kind of assume, you're working on your relationship with Square Enix. You've said that publicly. They've said that publicly. We all just kind of assume it's coming to Xbox. So, I mean, if your announcement is, hey, this game's coming to Xbox, you didn't need to. And it didn't end with it's on Game Pass, which is fine if it's not on Game Pass, but why is it at your show?
Why is it there?
I give it a 7 though, because as much as I like to make fun of those games and everything, that actually, like, the fight, like the combat in that game looked interesting enough to me to be like, wow, that actually has my attention. I'm interested in that. So I give it a 7. It was 7.
It reminded me of that game, Cozy, you know it. Something Quest 10 that was on Game Pass.
Dragon Quest?
Dragon Quest?
Oh my goodness.
Do not compare. Do not compare that. Trash.
No, let me finish. Let me finish. I'm just saying, when I played Dragon Quest, I was bored out of my skull. I tried. I tried very hard to get into Dragon Quest. I was bored out of my skull. When I see this, Visions of Mana looks much better for me. Cozy, what's your score for Visions of Mana and why?
Same 7. I think as much as I think honestly any mana game I'm gonna be like, they're typically, I know this is terrible to people who love JRPGs and those kind of games, but they are basically weeb fodder.
Oh
They're
my
not
God.
particularly fantastic and wonderful games. They're just like, I mean, they're good by like, I guess JRPG standards. They're not the worst games ever, but it's like pretty much cliche, eye rolly, you know.
Cozy, what's
stuff.
your problem with Japanese games?
Most
Like
of them are trash.
anime style games.
Most
What's
of them are
your
trash.
problem? No,
Most of them
that's
are
not
derivative
an actual critique.
trash.
That's not an actual critique. I want a real moment from you, Cozy. I want you
Sounds
to
like
be
it
If you want to
honest.
know, because
Why?
the gameplay will be great, but you have to suffer through their terrible stories. It's like
Pretty
if
good
you
critique.
like that sort of thing, you're going to be forgiving of like how terrible most of their stories are, and it's like, but if you don't
Right.
like that sort of thing, you're going to be like, well, I'll suffer as long as possible
Okay.
just to
So
play because it's
now
actually fun to play.
I want to challenge this because you've had this narrative for years now, and we all just keep letting you skate with it. Have you played Scarlet Nexus?
I love Scarlet Nexus. I skipped everything about it. I couldn't tell you a thing about what's happening in Scarlet Nexus. I love it because they just let you skip through whatever is happening.
So you didn't even give the story a chance.
I did for like 5 seconds, and then I was like, yeah, this is terrible.
You think the story in Scarlet Nexus is terrible?
Yes.
Cozy, you were terrible. Blind Giant with a membership chat says, "Oh snap, my brother Vinny is this week's guest. Let's go." Thank you so much, Blind Giant, for coming through. Really appreciate you. Sir X-Man is having fun. Says it's a good show. Thank you, Sir X-Man. Appreciate you.
I like that you brought up Scarlet Nexus in an attempt to like sway her, and it completely backfired on you.
It did not backfire. For me, it just vindicates the fact that Cozy is a penny. Right? When it comes to this
backfired on you, bud.
There's something wrong with it. There's something wrong with it, dude. Who looks at Scarlet Nexus and says, "This
gun
is me"?
Jammed. That gun is jammed, bud.
God. Blind Giant with a super chat, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Blind Giant. Shout out to the chat and the great panel today. Sending out nothing but please vibes, positive vibes, I think he wants to say, to everyone today. It's Aloha Friday, no work till Monday. Aloha. Matthew Ham, welcome in. Randman ZA. Hope you're doing good, man. I did a fraud charge on my I did a fraud charge on my card because I forgot I subbed and got my money back. I guess I can afford another month of premium chat points. Appreciate you, Matthew. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah. Keep them coming. Rachie says Scarlet Nexus was boring. Oh my lord.
The gameplay in it,
really
in my opinion, is really solid. It is actually some of my favorite recent action gameplay. But
it was okay.
But
Scarlet Nexus, hot. Y'all tripping.
Like the combat's fun, but then like the story panels and like having to do all like the little texting.
Yeah, I agree. The story, the way that they kind of did where everything was a still picture, that was kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Wait, look, isn't that what Cozy said?
Itself. No, no, she didn't say the presentation of the story on Scarlet Nexus sucked.
Well, that's a big part of the story.
The story sucked.
That's a very big part of the story is the presentation. No. You can have an amazing story, but if you present it to me terribly, I'll never find out.
We're gonna use pictures.
It was a good story. It was a good story. It was just presented kind of weird.
It was just made the game way slower.
Make it my life's mission. I'm gonna start playing JRPGs, and then I'm gonna keep chucking them at you.
There are some that I actually like. Play them.
Tell us one that you like.
Dragon Quest 8.
Is it turn-based?
Yes.
Fuck it. Let's move on.
Tales of
Han Solo. What are your
thoughts
on Visions of Mana?
Tales of.
The game looks fun. but I 100% agree with Vinny. Like, I felt like I could have took a nap the amount of time that they took to present that game.
Damn.
Like, it was like way too long. There was a few times I looked down, looked away, started doing something else, and then went back and seen that they were still talking about it. And I was like, God, Lee, like, it looks hot and whatnot, but I mean, like I said, I'm not sure if we're gonna talk about like overall scores,
We'll get to
but
the
it
overall.
dropped the overall score for the show for me.
Yeah. Oof. Okay. So X-Men, look, why is it every time we're talking about Xbox things, you pull up IGN sites? All right. So X-Men, life, right? In life, and you know this because you have life experience. There's levels to everything. All right. You want to talk sports, like
Got a
it
lot of
or hate it. We're first going to start with Fox and ESPN. Love it or hate it. That's just how life is. All right. There's a hierarchy to things. If we're going to talk video game news, right? There's Kotaku, there's VGC, there's Game Informer, there's all types. But you start at the top and then you work your way down. All right. What's the top, Sir X-Men? What's the top? You got it right. It's IGN.
It's not IGN. It's literally anything else.
You know what? I'm curious.
Yeah.
Let's go around the table. Ham, what is the top site in your opinion for video game news?
TSWS gaming.
That's a better answer than that's a way better.
Oh,
That's a
so
way
fun.
better source. Way better
right.
source than IGN.
All right. What is the top site, Ham, that has journalists writing articles on a minute-by-minute basis for video game news? I'm more specific.
Lordsofgaming.net.
Damn.
That's also a better answer.
Everyone, please pay attention. Lordsofgaming.net. He said it. Uso, what's the best gaming site?
I like Kind of Funny.
There you go.
Ugh,
It's really
I
interesting
don't know,
you say
man.
that. All right,
I don't
Vinny,
know,
go
man.
ahead.
Kind of funny. Kind of funny are kind of funny, especially when it's PlayStation related leaks. They're really funny. Like Cat Williams roll on the floor, kind of funny. You know what I mean? Like FBI gag order, we will not cover this, kind of funny. But it's cool. It's cool. To each his own. Matt, what's your best? What's the best journalism site in gaming in your opinion?
God, that's really difficult because because all these big sites, it's just kind of like I don't care what anybody from them has to say
Pick
about anything.
one. What's
I'm
the
not
best
gonna pick
one?
a site I don't care about, Woke. You can't make me care about a site.
Oh my goodness.
I
All right,
mean, I
Cozy,
guess
pick one.
Yes.
I guess Gaming Gold or whatever shit.
I don't know. I don't really go to sites for real
All
for
right,
gaming news.
Cozy and Matt abstain. Moving on, we had Ara History Untold. Uso, what's your score and why?
I was actually pleasantly surprised with our. I was not looking forward to it at all. I was actually super disinterested in it because it was like a RTS like civilization type game. But
Yeah.
like it looked, I thought it was just gonna be like a rip off, like a cheap knockoff. But it actually looked really good. So, I give that game an 8 for surprising me. Looked good, looked fun, and yeah, it wasn't bad showing.
Raichi, why are you always trolling, Raichi? Always trolling. All right. Thanks, Uso. Matt, what's your score for Ara and why?
7 because much like Vinny, I have no interest in that genre as a whole. Thought I would not care about it at all, but by the end of it, I was like, you know what, that's worth giving a shot to. And I if you told me I would have felt that way after seeing their presentation before the show, I would have probably thought you were crazy.
Okay. Now for the wild take, Cozy. Ara, what's the score and why?
So it's actually going to be a 9 for me.
What?
How
did I know it was going to be wild?
How's that a wild? How's that a wild? So okay, so here's the thing. I don't like most games like that are history stuff like that because I think they're too grounded in like the real world, real history. This one not being so grounded, being more like alternate, kind of makes it a lot more exciting for me.
I got you. I'm building Wakanda Mex when I can. That's what I'm doing.
Wakanda, Mexico.
Yep. I'm starting. Don't even leave Texas out of
in
this.
Houston.
All right. Also, by the way, go Texans tomorrow. Go Texans.
Wait, leave Texas out of it and go Texans? Okay.
Cozy, stay in your lane. All right.
No, you're the one who's not picking a lane.
Yeah, that's on
Thanks,
you,
man. Thanks, man. Thank you for the super chat. Says, think you guys hit a nerve with Loke. It's funny. What nerve? What nerve? I'm calm and collected. I don't know what you're talking about. Lady Foxfire, the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Lady Foxfire. Lady Foxfire says, Indiana Jones was my highlight of the show. Everything else looks cool, but not for me. By the way, we need Cozy and Matt emotes. Thanks for all the content.
Whoa.
That would be nice. That you know what? We're gonna start working on it. Thank you, sir, Lady Foxfire, for the shout.
Aww.
Texans win probably 21%. Matthew, what are you talking about? It's 91%. What?
Man, that Texas pride
21%.
I know.
This guy is wild. No, did you watch the Texans play? No, Ham. These two are just trolling, right? Matt and Cozy are just trolling. You watched the Texans game. You saw what you saw.
I've never heard anyone talk more about Texas and Texans.
Yeah, but they played the Browns. It's like the Browns' job to be good during the regular season and then just poop all over themselves. That's their job. That is their job.
You know what?
And they did that.
Matthew is really trying to piss me off right now. Now he says the probability came straight from IGN. All right. Dusty is a new member. Thank you, Dusty. We will be repaying your faith in us. Thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. Welcome to the TSWS family. Cult Classic Cage, it's been a minute. Welcome in. Ham, Ara History Untold. What's the score and why?
My score for it dropped a little bit yesterday after I gave it a 7. Now I give it a 6.5.
Why?
Just because it fell in the release date of just 2024. And I don't know why, but that's kind of bothering me today. Like there's literally one game that has the date and then everything else just says like 2024. And I don't know why, but that's bothering me.
Oh, it's because they didn't get a specific date.
Yeah, kind of. But I mean, as for the game, it looks all right. It looks like something I'll give at least one night to, just to see if I can get into it. Just like Age of the Empire when I did that. I'm not gonna say that I'm crazy excited for it though. It does look good, but it does look good and it packs a lot of content. But I'm just not sure how much it's gonna be relevant to me, especially this year. I feel like there's going to be a lot of games, and I'm not sure if there's going to be a lot of time.
Look at you.
Welcome video, Danny. H-Time holding it down. Oh, okay. I guess that's how people talk in Houston. I don't know what that's about.
Wow. Look, you're never beating the allegations.
Right.
Why? I don't understand.
I don't even know what a Houston is.
No, he said H-Town. Everyone knows that's H-Town, right? As in Houston.
Right.
Yeah, you tell us.
You know what? Screw you guys. Screw you guys. Uso, this is
Your
bullying.
language.
You agree? This is bullying, correct, Uso?
This is camaraderie.
Exactly.
God damn it. All right, whatever. Has the door gaming welcome in. They should change the name to Ara History. No one cares.
Oh,
Wow.
boom,
Dude.
roasted.
Cozy
Damn.
loves the game.
So here's the thing, like, you know what's really weird? People were
Great.
complaining
Sell it
about
to
like
him. Sell it
the
to him,
date.
Cozy.
No, I'm just saying people were complaining about the date, like, you know, the release being like, you know, first PC first. And I was like,
Mhm.
console gamers don't really care. Like, all 5 of you, I know, will be sad who care about this game, but you know,
It's PC only, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
At
Wow.
launch, yeah.
yeah, at launch,
At launch.
it's PC.
It'll probably be
Yeah, that's-
available on
that's
console like in a
disappointing.
year and a half.
It's so the thing is, I know there'll be people who are disappointed, but overwhelmingly, console gamers aren't really gonna care.
I mean,
Like, and
PC
you get,
Master
like,
Race, am I right?
5. No, I'm just gonna say it's the type of game it is a genre,
PC
a
game.
niche genre, and that niche genre is really just a PC genre.
And it works best on the PC. There's certain games that you need a mouse to traverse and use the different abilities faster on PC. Like Football Manager, for example. Most management games, if you play on console, you're gonna struggle. But if you're on PC, it's just easier and more intuitive. They're
Well,
built
it's
for
it,
PC.
it's funny that you say that because it's like the Xbox does have keyboard and mouse support. So I mean, I don't
Yeah.
really feel like the
Yeah.
argument holds up very well.
It
It's
does,
just
but
like-
you know what?
Well,
It's a
let me
surprising
finish
amount
it
of
off for
games
you.
don't support that.
Really? I thought most
Yeah.
games support that.
Sadly,
Yeah, most games do. Finals does, or did. They don't do it anymore.
they don't do it anymore.
Yeah, they took it off. I don't know why. I don't know why they do that, but
All right.
do you guys remember in the
Pro
360
Classic-
days where? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you guys remember in the 360 days where certain games required you to have like certain accessories, like not
Right.
keyboard and mouse, but some of them required like Steel Battalion.
guns
You
and
needed
stuff like
the yeah, exactly. Steel Battalion, you needed the Connect or the controller that was like $500 to play it, and I don't know. I don't know why they don't just do that. You know, instead of making it like where they have controller and mouse and keyboard support for consoles. Just when it launches, just say, hey, you need a keyboard and mouse for this game.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
It's tricky. Carl Classic Cage with a $2 super sticker. Thank you so much, Carl Classic Cage. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you coming through.
Oh
What
yeah.
were we talking
Full
about? Oh, we're talking
classic
about Ara. Okay. Cozy tried and failed to sell it to
I'm
Hazardor
not trying
Gaming.
to
says
sell it.
most-
I don't like to sell games to people.
I asked
except
you to
for
try and sell
Vampire
it.
Survivors.
Okay. Most people on Twitter only care about dates for console war list. Yeah. That's true. All right, so guys, what was our overall score for the developer direct? Uso, go first. What was your overall score and why?
First, I said it was a 10, but because of the release dates and some of the other news with like Vision of Mana, I think I'm gonna give it a 9.
9. Okay. Why?
He just said.
Yeah, I
Just
just
said.
said.
Just said.
Oh shit!
No
sorry.
solid
You
release
switched it
dates.
around. I thought you were gonna give the score first and then okay. Release dates and Vision of Mana. Okay.
Yeah.
Matt, score
Yeah.
and why?
The same thing I said yesterday. I give it a 9 because of you showed me a lot of really cool games, and you only gave me a date for one of them.
Yeah.
But you gave me really
Yes.
cool games, so
Yes.
9.
All right, 9. Cozy, what's the score and why?
I'm going to say I'm going to say a 7.
7.
Um,
Looks like I'm supposed to have the lowest score.
Spike me, Matt.
Nah, he's down. He's
Spike
gonna
me.
go lower.
Yeah, he's gonna go
oh,
like 4.
How low can you go? How low can you go? How
the
low can you
showings
go?
were good, but I didn't really see enough.
Okay.
I didn't really see enough.
Xbox got no games. Cozy said it first. The variety. You said the variety. Yeah, go ahead.
No, the variety was good, but it was like not a lot.
Classic K says she's looking forward to Visions of Mana, so it saved the showcase. This is the first time I've seen anyone say Visions of Mana is the one that saved the showcase. Mostly it's either Avowed or Indiana Jones. It's the first time I've seen someone say Visions of Mana. All right. So X-Man with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, I give Loke a 3 out of 10 for hosting today's show. Thank you so much for the super chat. So X-Man, really appreciate you, man. Like deep down in my heart.
I feel like that's an inflated score.
Yeah.
My score is inflated.
Mm-hmm. Just facts.
Okay. Ham Solo, what's the score for the developer direct and why? It's getting messy.
I give it like a 7. I feel like it's a solid 7.
Solid 7.
The games that were there were phenomenal. It was just the way it was shown. To me, it was kind of, I don't know. It didn't keep my attention like I wanted it to. Like, I didn't mind the developers and stuff like that talking about it, but like when you're showing me the game, just show me the game and then talk about it, and then maybe go over some of those parts and whatnot. But like when they were like, they'd show a little piece of the game and then show the developer talking, and then show a little piece of the game and then show the developer talking, and then like I said about the whole Visions of Mana thing, that just took forever. And I was just like, all right, this is okay, this is cool of a game, but I just don't really need to hear all of this stuff right now. But whatever, like that's what the show's called. It's called Developer Direct. They want to showcase what the developer has to say and whatnot. I just wish they'd kind of structure it a little bit different, so then I can get kind of immersed in them just showing me the game itself, and then if they want to go back and break down some of the things, that's fine. But at least give me a chance to just check it out and then talk about it.
Fair enough. Okay, so before we move on to the next one, I have a question I'm gonna put open to everyone. No sequence, just whoever wants to go first, and then we can move on from there. My question is, did this developer direct improve on last year's developer direct, in you guys' opinion?
Definitely.
I honestly,
It's hard to say. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean improve? Like, was it a better
experience when you left?
Showing?
When you left, right?
Do you mean like do you mean the format of it? I'm saying, do you mean like the format of it, or do you mean the things they showed me? Was it better than the last year?
I mean,
he needs clarification.
Right? I mean, time is our currency, right?
Yes.
Time is the currency.
Yes.
When we put our time into something, we want to come away from whatever it is that we put our time into and think that was worthwhile.
It's
all right.
It's hard to
say. Both developer directs left you guys with a certain feeling at the end. Last year's and this year's.
Yeah.
Did this year's developer direct improve on whatever it is that you felt last year at the end of that developer direct, or was it worse?
I don't know that it improved, but it wasn't worse. It was like, I felt like, much like last year, I felt like I watched it and I was like, I was like, that was good. That was a good use of, what was it this year? 50 minutes. That was a good use of 50 minutes. I'm happy with that. And that's pretty much how I felt last year. I just think I would give it to last year simply because they had the factor of shadow dropping one of the best games of the year. But if we're not counting that, then I'd say it's pretty much the same feeling. I felt really good after that 50 minutes.
I'll go on ahead and just say this year had better games, but last year's presentation was better handled. And then on top of it, having the shadow drop was just the exclamation mark. So like, if I were to take the shadow drop away from last year, I would have gave it like 7.5 to an 8. So without the shadow drop, but with the shadow drop, I gave it a 9. This year, just a 7, almost a 6.5. So to me, it's just like they kind of backtrack just a little bit in just the way that they paced the show. But like I said, this year's games are, to me, probably better than last year, just for the fact that, you know, I don't know, like one of the games, like two of the games last year. One was Redfall, which we all know how that went.
Oof.
And the other one was a car game, which is not a bad thing. It's just a car game, though. You know, right? So in this sense, it's like I got to see more story games. So that was a little bit better, but yeah, just the way it was handled, especially that the Square Enix one really kind of
Wow, visions
was
of mana
like
catching strays today.
it was uninvited, and then it showed up, and it was just like, okay, like I'm not
staying
mad
too
that you're
long.
here, but I don't know why, or like because you don't
It's like
even
a
have a
wedding
date for
crasher.
this game. You don't even have a date for this game, so this game could possibly go into the next year. So it's just like, I don't know. I felt like it was kind of forced. Felt a little forced.
The reason why I brought that up,
Square Enix brought good food to the cookout and then just hung out awkwardly in the corner.
instead of just leaving.
Yeah, they didn't mingle. They just kind of
No, they brought forks and plates.
Yeah, that's a good
What?
something that you're appreciative of.
Wow.
But you're like, you didn't have to do that.
I honestly think this one, I actually enjoyed the developer direct more in this case. I think they did a good job of actually showcasing here the developers and what they're doing. So I think it was a more effective use of time, but I think their showings were less interesting. I feel like they could have had some people show like here, like, you know, better showing of what they were showing. If you get what I'm saying.
Showing the
Also, you've been quiet, bruv.
I've been here.
Well, for me, the reason I brought this up is because I look at events and how people remember them. Most people don't remember the nitty gritty. Most people remember the highlight, right? So Jeff Keighley's show 2 years ago, most people don't remember. Okay, fine. We still remember that Elden Ring won at the end, but we also remember the dude that got on stage and started talking about Bill Clinton's rabbi. You know, a lot of stuff happened on that game show, but we remember specifically those two things. Okay. We also remember the God of War actor just losing his cock and staying on stage forever. My point here is, last year the developer direct had an exclamation mark. This year it was ho hum. Even if the ho humness of it was okay or good, it was ho hum regardless, or nonetheless, it was ho hum. I think there was two missed opportunities here. One, they should have shadow dropped something good, right? Or, and this is wild, they could have just moved up the release of Pal World on Game Pass which it already is now, and now it's trending. A whole bunch of people love it. They could have just said, guys, Pal World, we moved it up 2 days or 1 day. It's now live on Game Pass right now. Go ahead and install it. That's two opportunities that they could have put in an exclamation mark and they fucked it up. I think if they had done that and created like a tradition of, you don't just watch the developers direct to look at awkward people trying to sound cool. You watch the developer direct because something in the real world of gaming, something's going to happen right now. In that 1 hour that Xbox is live, everyone needs to pay attention because something's going to happen that's going to affect your next 24 to 48 hours, and they fucked it up, in my opinion. They could have created a very cool tradition, and they messed it up. So that's why I brought the whole... Oh, go ahead, Uso.
No, that was me. But I'm saying like,
sorry, man.
I think the rebuttal, and I agree, it would have been cool to have a shadow drop. I think the rebuttal to that is, if you shadow drop something this year, exactly what you said, it then starts a tradition. It starts an expectation of this. You can't expect this every year from us. And if they have a year where that doesn't happen, then it's like, I don't give a shit how good the show was. You fucked up. You didn't give me the thing that I was expecting.
Matt, you were telling me that Xbox, with all their resources and all the studios they've acquired, cannot guarantee one AA game. Doesn't even have to be a AAA game. They can't.
Yes.
They can't guarantee one AA game a year.
Yes.
For real?
Yes.
They can't guarantee a quality AA game.
Yeah, that's exactly. Like if you want them to just crap out a game for you every year, then sure. But like there's no like if they shadow
type of game.
Yeah, but that's a game that's been in development for a while.
Years. Yeah,
like if they drop a game just to shadow drop a game,
all the IP. That's why I brought up all the IPs they have and all the funding they have. They could realistically.
That's fantastic and all, but that's great and all. But if they just shadow drop a game just for tradition and it doesn't do well, that doesn't look good. Like the hype of, oh, they just shadow drop this immediately goes away, because it immediately turns to, oh, this is dog shit.
Maybe I have too much faith. Maybe I have too much faith in Xbox, because to me that seems very attainable to Xbox. I think I have too much faith in Xbox.
I mean, if you're expecting the shadow drop a game every year, I would say yes, you do.
All right then. Sir X-Man with a $2 super chat. Loke stole my Pal World idea and took it. Cheater. Sir X-Man,
typical.
Are you claiming to be the only one with original thought on the planet Earth? One of the oldest sayings in the human race is that there's nothing new under the sun. That's all I will say to that. Anyway, that was the Developer Direct. It was good fun. Let's move on. Square Enix president says the company wants to release fewer, more diverse games. So Square Enix appears to be on the verge of shaking up its development portfolio. According to its president, we may soon see fewer titles, but a more diverse array of genres coming out of a developer and publisher traditionally known for its massive RPG franchises. In an investor Q&A that took place back in November, but which was only recently published in English. Shout out to who was bitching about English? It was Sir X-Man. Sir X-Man was bitching about English. Was recently published in English. Square Enix president Takashi Kiryu addressed multiple questions from investors about the company's portfolio going forward. In response to a question about what Square Enix was lacking that it needed to achieve sustained growth and meet its business goals, Kiryu cited 2 points: the limited diversity of the company's portfolio and a lack of strong marketing. On the limited diversity point specifically, he went on to explain the need to increase the different kinds of games in Square Enix's portfolio by strengthening internal development capabilities, or perhaps even making acquisitions. What? So 2 things. Uso, you can go first. Square Enix consistently saying that their sales underperformed, now talking about making acquisitions and making less games. What are your thoughts?
So first of all, I gotta correct him on one thing. He said their catalog of RPGs. Mr. Yoshida, those games are not RPGs. Those are action adventure over the shoulder games. Let's just get that straight, all right? Secondly, what he means by more diverse catalog is not every game's gonna be uber expensive, and there's gonna be a lot more smaller projects made from PlayStation. So they'll do like maybe one big game, two small games, one big game, two small games. Um, every like 3-4 years, you know. And
Yeah,
as far as acquisitions, I mean, it makes sense. That's Xbox was kind of in the same situation where they needed to. They were in like a really tough spot where they had like no studios. They weren't making any revenue from their games because of just how lackluster the Xbox One was. And so they had to start buying more studios. Eventually they bought publishers, and now they're in a really good spot to succeed. Sony sees that strategy where they kind of have to bite the bullet now before it's too late with the global economy and where the situation is with that.
Mm.
Buy more studios. I think I think they're planning to buy more PC specialist studios like Nixus. Um, to do what he's been saying, like PC day and date, you know, more games on more screens. And yeah, those are my thoughts on what he said.
All right. So you're not against the whole acquisition thing. It's not
No,
crazy
I
or
mean
far fetched.
it's normal. Like PlayStation, they need to make more acquisitions, otherwise they're gonna fall under the bus and like not be able to catch up soon enough if they don't do anything
What?
sooner.
Isn't this about Square Enix?
Oh no, this was about Sony, right?
Oh, this was about
No,
Square.
this is Square Enix, dude.
Oh, Square Enix. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I guess they're in kind of the same situation too, you know, with Square, where they gotta do more to um make more revenue. They're just kind of in a tough spot as well.
Okay. Matt, Square
Mhm.
Enix, crazy or not for wanting to reduce the amount of games, but also make acquisitions at the same time.
Uh, that's not crazy. That's probably financially smart for them, considering the fact. I mean, they just released Final Fantasy 16. Um, apparently, I don't know, but apparently, like general consensus, whenever I'm on Twitter and when
Mm-hmm.
people report on it, it sounds like it underperformed. Even though people say it's a great game, they really enjoy it. Apparently, it didn't do gangbusters for Square.
For Square.
Um, so I mean, if their strategy is making games like that, then yeah, the production value is relatively high. You're gonna be making less games because those cost a good amount to make, especially if you're going to be doing the same strategy, which hopefully they don't. But if you're going to be sticking to the strategy of, oh, here's the gameplay station, here's another game. I mean, what they're doing, Foam Stars also, aren't they? Is that them?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
them.
I
yeah.
mean,
They're the ones doing Storm Stars, yeah.
it's it's stuff like Square Enix is so confusing to me because they do games like they'll do like they have this huge following of Final Fantasy, like a massive following of Final Fantasy, and that they lock it to a single platform. It's like you can only play this on that platform, not because we're
But it's the most played platform, to be fair.
sure, but did that help it?
No. I'm just trying to defend the
And the
logic,
thing
the
is, it's not.
rationale.
The thing is, it's not the most played platform. PC is. It's not. Like it's the
All
most.
right.
You could say it's one of the most played consoles. Even then, Switch is. But like you could say that, but it's not the most played platform. In fact, not even PC. It'd be mobile if we're really splitting hairs. But like you release it on one thing, and then you expect to get this huge payback. You obviously don't, because you released it on one thing, and then they do this thing like, I can't. We're really in a tough spot here, guys. We got to figure something out, because we're just no one seems to be interested in our game. It's like there's tons of people who are interested in your
stop
game.
with
You're
exclusives.
you're
Is that
just
what you're
not
saying?
letting them playing it. Well, as long as they're not owned by Sony, why are they making exclusives? And here's the thing: if they're going to be giving Sony games, they need to go in there and say, "Yo, pay up, because what you're giving us now isn't enough. It's not cutting it. You got to be giving us either more, or we'll do the same shit with Xbox, because they're a $1 trillion company, and they'll pay up. You got to start asking for more, or you got to go with a different strategy, because they keep doing the same thing over and over again, and they get in this position where, like, we don't know what to do, guys. Now they're talking about acquisitions. It's like, what are you going to acquire that's going to help you out of the hole that you constantly keep digging yourself into? Like, what are you going to do? Yeah, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to, like, is it going to be like Embracer, where they get a whole bunch of shit, and then they're just like, it's all closed? Like, what are they going to do? I don't know what the plan is. I'm interested to see, because I don't know what that plan is over there.
Square Enix on PC, day and date, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it from Matt.
If they want money,
real quick, I need to address what Sir X-Man is saying in the chat. Sir X-Man is the first human being. Sir X-Man is the first human being that said to me that it would have been a good idea for Pal World to be in the position that Xbox put Visions of Mana. Can we move on now?
There you go.
Cozy, Square Enix, are they wild or not?
You know how I feel about Square Enix. Square Enix is your 17-year-old family dog. That's it. People, people talk about this big talk about.
We need to put them down.
No, they're dying. That's the problem. Is like
they're putting themselves down.
Have this like legendary memories of Square Enix, but Square Enix has not been great in ages. And it's like you can't play fetch anymore. You just have these fond memories of it.
Cozy's vein is popping in her neck. Someone rewind the last 10 seconds. I haven't seen you this worked up in a while, Cozy. Go ahead. Go ahead.
A lot of gamers have like these nostalgia glasses concerning, what's going on with Square Enix. It's old. It's an old dying dog. And that's it. That's the reality of it. They're not, and it's like they could put their games everywhere, but they are where they're at. Their problem is they really just need to, lessen their budget on what they do, because they're never going to be that great, powerhouse, which is why they sold off stuff anyway. They shouldn't be talking about buying anything. They should be talking about how can we make great games with less money, because their problem is they were like a premier studio like 20 years ago, but it's been 20 years. We've moved on. The world has moved on.
Damn.
Kind of spitting.
Are you good, Cozy? Tell us how you really feel about Square Enix.
Yeah. I'm good.
Wow. Sir X-Man, please, right? Go in the chat. Put 2 quotes. I need you to type out exactly what you want me to say, because I gave you credit that literally, right? You are the first person that told me what the idea for Power. Type out exactly what you want me to say, and I will say it. I promise. Just type it out so we can move on. Yodani with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Yodani. Says the in-house studios were chilling, making movie-style games that release in 7 years to critical acclaim. They acquisitioned a scrappy Insomniac who is pumping out bangers in less time with real movie IPs.
Facts.
All right. Yodani coming in with the fire. Okay. Ham Solo, Square Enix president. Is he on point or is he just insane?
I'm sorry. I don't even remember what we were talking about. The only thing I'm thinking about is you and Sir X-Man complaining back and forth.
Beefing.
literally, I just asked him, just write what you want me to say, Sir X-Men. Put 2 quotes, 1 quote at the beginning, 1 at the end. I'll say it so we can move on with the topic.
Oh, look, I don't care, bud.
Square Enix president. Hey, as long as it makes sense with the whole credit thing, right? I made a mistake. I forgot to credit him. So now, what do you want me to say, Sir X-Men, to credit you properly, the way you want? Because I done credited you twice.
You are really.
Now, you want me to credit you?
Let's go back to the
way.
Sir X-Man super chat earlier because
he said, "I'll preach it on GRG."
He nailed you, right? Or not that one. This one.
Oh my god.
He did it or no?
Because you won't stop.
He did.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore because you're beefing with Sir X-Man.
I done set the question to you 3 times now, bro. I done set the question to you 3 times now. Square Enix president says they want to cut down on the amount of games and they want to make acquisitions. Is he on point in terms of the future of the company with this decision or this vision moving forward?
Geez, you got me saying Sir X-Man now because you done said it so goddamn much. Square Enix is in a whole like rebrand kind of situation. Although they have a lot of the same type of games, the way that they're trying to make them, I feel like they're trying to make it make more sense for the amount of money that they've been able to acquire with the things that they got currently, while also having to backtrack, remember, on the whole NFT thing that they were planning on trying to do. So now they have to like mend a few areas that they thought that would possibly correct. And then keep in mind they have new leadership, new president. And that new president ain't trying to lose no money like they just got done. You know, they had that whole like, what was it, like $2 billion loss?
Yeah.
So like
huge losses.
So yeah, they had a horrible year last year. So I think really this is just all about making sure that they keep the train moving at a correct pace and then maybe make some sort of adjustments on down the line. I think it's not a terrible idea what they're doing. They're just kind of, protecting their own necks.
But you just brought up the $2 billion loss and the fact that most of their games, according to them, not us, not Twitter, according to them, most of the games are underperforming.
Right.
So given that context, acquisitions, that's the way forward?
It might be. Maybe they need to bolster up. I mean, you've seen the same thing happen with Microsoft, right? So, like Microsoft, they weren't making very much from what they had in-house. So what did they do? They left the house and picked up a few other people, brought them home, and
a few.
Right? Of just a few. But they packed them on up, brought them home, and hopefully they can make hand over fist with what they got.
These guys went out and bought half the industry. Talking about a few.
All right. Was not half.
Before we get
like maybe 10%.
It's hyperbole. People's ears perk up when you say crazy stuff. It's like, what? Before we move on to the $10 winner, which is for this Friday, Square Enix dev is tired of people comparing Foam Stars to Splatoon. I'm gonna put this one to the whole panel. Is this fair? Is this
Stop
fair?
comparing us to the game we ripped off. Stop it.
That's like.
Let me read that. Let me read the IGN article. Hold on. Square Enix is tired of people. Square Enix is tired of people comparing its upcoming 4 versus 4 shooter Foam Stars to Splatoon, insisting they're completely different games. So here's a quote. I feel like the mechanic of having the things you shoot stay on the field is very unique, Okatani said. He said it was a great honor if this became a genre of its own, akin to Souls-like or Metroidvania, splatter perhaps.
What the hell is he talking about? This don't make any sense.
Go ahead, Cozy. Damn.
It's like,
Cozy's
we copied,
triggered.
we copied the homework, and Nintendo, you can be like, I mean, it would be less ridiculous if they didn't just say like, yeah, Nintendo did a thing, and we were like, oh, we thought it was a good idea, so we put our own spin on it. Because if you look at how there's the behind the scenes of how Nintendo came up with the idea and like developed it, it's actually pretty fascinating. But to be like, we're nothing like this other game. It's like literally like how describe like a significant feature of how the game is played that makes it different. Like, because they literally just described Splatoon. With his words, literally just described Splatoon.
This
Triggered Cozy is my favorite Cozy. That's all I'm gonna say.
This is, and I'm glad Cozy brought the homework analogy. This is you. This is you cheating on a test and getting caught, and then instead of just hanging your head in shame and being like, "Okay, you caught me," you just go, I didn't cheat. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't cheat on anything. I didn't copy that. Even though you're clearly, obviously copying it. And while you're copying it, you basically sat out there and said, hey, I'm copying right here. This is me right here. I'm copying. And then you get caught and you're like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I didn't do that.
I'm copying here.
This is what's the game just came out? We were talking about Power World. Being like, this is nothing like
You didn't copy Pokemon.
This is nothing like Pokemon. What are you guys talking about?
These are pals.
Yeah, these are pals, not Pokemon. I don't know what this is. Totally different game.
Very distinct difference, guys. Come on, man.
It's like you obviously very clearly putting it in a more a better light for you. Very inspired by Splatoon. We'll say that. So I mean, just be like, hey, they had, like Cozy said, they had a game. We saw it and we said we should try to make our own version of that game, and that's totally fine. But don't say you don't. Don't say you didn't. Don't say you didn't do that, because that's what you did.
Danny says Cozy is a Nintendo. I 100% agree, and I will be making an effort to put in an article or some story that has to do with Nintendo, and Nintendo is being wronged. Because that vein that pops from Cozy's neck, that's like part of like a side character on TSWS. That's a character. That's someone on the panel. You lost it, Cozy, for like 10 seconds.
Because you're listening to someone like lie out of their teeth about like something that's like we see this, we see it, we can see it.
It's like Cat Williams. Do you know that we can see?
Because at first I was like, maybe he thinks it's mechanically that different, but then he literally described. I was like, it's not. He literally, like, come on, man, come on. Like, we're not mad. Just admit it.
Cozy, you are mad. You were very mad.
We'd all be a lot happier. Like, nobody would be mad if you just said, "Yeah, we copied that." Like, no, like, sure, a few people would be upset, but like, dude, a lot less than you just flat out lying. I don't know.
Whew. That was fun. I think I'm gonna clip that and put it on TikTok or something. Ham. Nothing. You don't care about no form style comparison.
Ooh, you didn't ask.
Oh, okay. So I'm asking now because Cozy is done losing her shit. Like, I was introducing the topic, right? But I'm like, I'm gonna ask Uso first, and then Cozy just rams in like, oh yeah. So go ahead. Is it fair?
I mean, this. I don't usually say this about a lot of games, but this looks like dog shit to me.
Splatoon.
Yeah, it does, and it. I mean, we all called it literally seconds after they showed it, and said, "Oh yeah, that looks just like Splatoon." Now he's surprised that almost a whole year went by, and that's all he's heard. You know,
Still looks like Splatoon.
give somebody in Starfield a lightsaber, and guess what they'll say?
Indiana Jones third person. What will they say?
Oh my goodness.
It's not unique. To me, it's not unique. It's very kiddie kind of, and that's not exactly a bad thing. But at the same time, it's just like if I'm just speaking for myself, I just think it looks like hot ass. Like I don't want to touch it.
Oof.
It's crazy, isn't it? A game that you pay for.
Yeah,
$30.
it's a paid game, but it's going into their service.
Yeah, it's going to the service for three months, I think. After that,
wait, they're taking it out after 3 months?
Yeah, they're taking it out.
What are they expecting to happen in those 3 months?
It's
people are going to be so
enough to buy it.
Dude, you guys,
bubbles.
Dude, Square Enix stinks. You guys are terrible. I don't know what you're doing over at Square Enix, but you guys really suck. That's a terrible company.
Yeah,
man.
That's why I did the follow-up.
I didn't know that.
Like after we talked about the vision for the company, let's talk about what they're doing with this game specifically.
I legit didn't know that. I thought that was just going to be a permanent thing in there.
No. This is not Game Pass.
Nuts.
It's PlayStation.
That's really
did you finish? Did you finish your point or?
Yeah, go ahead, man. I'm just shocked.
I'm sad, man. I really don't want to give this any more time.
Wow. Uso. Usually the guests go first, but on this topic, like Cozy completely lost it. So you're going last on this one. Thoughts on on Splatoon? Sorry. Thoughts on the foam star dev saying they're not Splatoon?
Well, you guys, we should all be foaming it up right now for foam stars.
Yo, Cozy did not enjoy that joke, bro. Cozy, you are a Nintendo. What is going on today? Go ahead.
I think it's just they just want to make their identity away from Splatoons, but it's just like, come on, dude. There's no other game like Splatoons, and you literally made the only other game that's just exactly like Splatoons. Yeah. Like, you guys are just blatantly lying here. And I see why they do it, because they want people to like play their game, not thinking like, oh, it's Splatoons, but on PlayStation. But I don't know. I give the game 2 weeks, like Vincent Vega said, not even last a month. Yeah, 2 weeks. Destruction All Stars lasted 2 weeks. I think this game will last 2 weeks.
Damn. All right.
I think it has more staying power than Destruction All Stars. Destruction All Stars is like in a category of its own of garbage. like I could see this game being pretty bad, but I don't know. I would rather surf bubbles than slide my car sideways to bump somebody.
Is that what the goal was for Destruction All Stars?
Destruction All Stars was just flat out ass. It was just terrible. It was a bad game. Should have never hit. Okay. Should have never even hit the service for free. Like, it was just terrible. Just a bad game.
Kind of game that makes your service look bad.
And you know what? Right. Before the game came out, I was kind of excited for it. I played a game of it and I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. Then I played another game and I was like, oh, this is really bad.
Took 2 games.
I'm just curious what went on behind the scenes when they were creating it. Like, you know,
did no one play it?
Not just that, but did they say like, you know, I have an idea for a game with interesting mechanics. Where they say, hey, we need something like Splatoon, but not.
Oh, you're talking about Foam Stars, or you're talking about Destruction All Stars?
Well, I mean, that game was just no one played it.
Cozy, you're still coping and seething about Foam Stars.
That's not cope.
Wow.
She was factually accurate with what she said.
You know what? Let me defend Foam Stars.
Go for
What
it,
they
bud.
thought, Cozy.
Try it out.
What they thought, Cozy, is there's only one Splatoon, and the last one sold, I think, 30 million or something. The last Splatoon sold more than the previous two combined, if I remember the article correctly. It's a ton of people that bought Splatoon 3. So I'm guessing Vincent says a lot of cocaine. Okay. I'm guessing that Square Enix saw what's happening with Splatoon, and they're like, there's space in that specific genre for us to make some bank. And that's what happened. Is that acceptable, Cozy?
Not really. They could have come. There's space to make a wholly unique shooter, and they could have done that.
But it's also the thing, like, yeah, they could have done that, but also, why would you then try to distance yourself from Splatoon when you're literally Splatoon? Why, like if your theory is right, Luke, they saw what Splatoon did and they said, we want to do that. Why would you then come out and say, we're absolutely not doing that. We're definitely not doing that, even though you are.
Okay, that kind of sucks. You should have just said we took inspiration from it.
Yeah, at least say that. At least.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm
get it off your chest. Jesus,
you don't want to foam it up.
Am I the only one laughing at foaming it up? Come on, guys, that's funny. No? All right then. Let's move on. Let's move on. Again from IGN, Microsoft can now be a good publisher on Sony and Nintendo and PCs and Xbox, says the CEO. So with the acquisition of Call of Duty maker Activision Blizzard, Microsoft can now be a good publisher across all platforms, including rival consoles, the boss of the company has said. Nadella's comments echo those he made last month when he similarly said Microsoft plans to release games across all platforms. This is the quote. All right, this is the quote from Satya Nadella. We think that now we have the ability to do what we always set out to do, which is build great games and deliver them to folks across all platforms, which is Xbox and consoles, the PCs, and now even including mobile gaming and cloud gaming, he said at the time. Uso, did Ham just walk out? Just walk out as soon as I brought up this topic. Uso, does this quote from Satya Nadella confirm that Xbox is going third party?
No, not at all. People can try to twist it like that, but they just acquired Activision. These interviews are about them as a publisher now that they have Activision and Blizzard and King. And Satya Nadella is just saying, like, hey, like, now we have a responsibility to ship like Call of Duty to all the platforms with Switch and PlayStation, mobile games on iOS and Android, etc. Like, it's such a reach to say, like, oh, now we're gonna put Bethesda games on PlayStation or Indiana Jones, yada yada yada. Like, it's a reach to say that he's saying that, and he clarifies. Like, people can try to twist it, but he clarifies it in his statements. Like, hey, this has to do with Activision Blizzard. We can publish everywhere now. So, no, I don't think Xbox is going fully third party.
Yeah, so X-Man is gonna get pissed off here because I can't find it in the IGN article. I cannot find the specific part where he clears it up and says this is just for Activision Blizzard.
He didn't say this is just for Activision Blizzard, but his statement,
Oh,
like
okay.
he mentions
was-
Activision Blizzard in the beginning of his statement.
Oh, yes, he did say that. He did say that with the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Yeah. All right. So for you, you're not buying it. Uso.
No,
Xbox is not going third party.
No, I don't think so. If they were going third party right now, Sony's still trying to fight Microsoft on the 10-year deal with Call of Duty. If they were going third party, why would Sony even worry about Call of Duty still after the deal went through and everything? Like they're trying to make Microsoft renegotiate the deal further.
That's weird. I thought the deal was already done.
It's done, but Sony is trying to pressure. Like they're still trying to find ways to like renegotiate that 10-year deal. Yeah.
Damn, you already got a. Oh man. All right, Cozy. I think Sir X-Man's quote there on the screen is for you. What's this?
If it was a Sesame Street foam shooter, I would play it.
Oh my goodness, Cozy. Your problem is that okay. You know what? Never mind. I'm not going to give this oxygen. The title. Mike says the title of the article is not true. Microsoft can't do that. They can't do what? What's the title? Microsoft can now be a good publisher. Oh my god, Mike.
Oh,
settle down.
Into that.
Settle down, Mike. Settle down. We need calm and measured takes. Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Does Satya's comment confirm, or sorry, does it confirm that Xbox is going third party?
Yeah, for Call of Duty and other Activision titles that they deem necessary to bring to PlayStation and Nintendo and wherever else.
And
it's
Minecraft.
I mean, the thing is, you could already make the argument, like, if you're gonna do that, you could already make the argument that, like, Microsoft is, because Vinny just mentioned Minecraft. I mean, like, games from Microsoft appear on other consoles, and Call of Duty is now Microsoft's game. It's going to be appearing on other consoles. Like, we know this because the deals are in place for it. And we can assume that even after those deals are up, new deals will be made to keep that happening. So, yeah. I see people online who are, like, freaking out about it. Like, every single game from Xbox is going to... And that's not what he was saying there. He was talking directly, like he mentioned ABK. Yeah, he mentioned ABK, and then he said his quote.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excuse me.
So I don't know why people are freaking out about it.
Why would you bring up context when you're talking about video games, man? What's wrong with you?
We're talking about headlines here. Come on.
Yeah, right.
Cozy.
Yes.
Focus, Matt. Focus. Cozy, is Xbox going full third party after reading this article?
No, they have games. They'll have games that are third party, and I think they'll just have games that are third party and games that are first party, like they do now. I mean, games that are published by them and pushed on other platforms, and games that are just for their platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Not one person here thinks they're going third party. Jeez. Ham, you're my last hope, which means I have no hope.
No, you don't have any hope. You have zero hope.
Is Xbox going third party?
I just told you have no hope.
But
I
want to make you say it. I want to make you say it.
Well, I just don't understand it. I'm kind of confused with the media. I'm kind of confused with the fans and the fanboys. On both sides, really. Because it's just like the whole purpose of this deal, and even part of the Bethesda deal, was to keep supporting the games that are on other platforms in some capacity. And they've even said case by case basis when talking about Bethesda. Before even Activision was on the table, They said case by case basis with Bethesda. So why is it that a year later everybody is like,
Bless you.
Thank you.
game's going to another system? The same people that were avidly following the court, reading all the documents and stuff like that, are somehow now confused that when they read during the summer or spring of last year that, oh yeah, Nintendo gave a thumbs up to this deal, and they signed a 10-year agreement to have Activision games brought over to Nintendo and Call of Duty and stuff like that. Nvidia, same thing. Sony ended up bending the knee, and but you see how much they were fighting against this deal and stuff like that. And then people are now asking, hey, is Xbox going strictly third party? The answer to that is no. Is Xbox gonna be dishing out games to other companies other than the platform that is Xbox? The answer is yes. And that answer has not changed. Like nothing's changed but the people. The people are literally the only ones that have changed. The same folks fighting for this are now complaining about this. Oh, I don't want my games to go everywhere. But at the same time, last year they were saying, oh, it doesn't matter if they share this or whatnot. It doesn't affect me because I'm getting my game regardless. That
I'm getting
hasn't
Game
changed
Pass.
either. You're still getting your game regardless.
This man is tired.
So it's just like, I just don't understand why this is even an argument. Like, it's just a waste of time to me. They're going to become more third party than ever before because now they have more studios than ever before. Crazy how that math worked. So like whatever. Like these type of articles and stuff like that, clickbait. We already know this shit. This is basic information at this point, just being reiterated, so it's news today.
You heard it first on TSWS Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. Xbox is not going third party. Make peace with it. It'll hurt less. All right? You want to play Avowed? Buy an Xbox. You want to play Starfield? Reforge Gaming. If you really want to play Starfield, just buy an Xbox. I promise it works. Or get a PC. It's fine. Anyways, we are about to get up out of here. Uso Vinny, thank you so much for coming through. We appreciate
Thank you for having me.
We're gonna get you on again as soon as
I'll have my webcam fixed next time.
Yeah,
no, I don't have a camera. I gotta get one.
we want to see it. We want to see that pretty mug.
Yeah, as soon as you get a camera, let me know so I can get you schedules for an episode.
Behind them sticks.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Behind
Richie, cut the cap. Cut the cap. If Foamstar becomes a hit, Cozy,
just take the word hit out of there. It'll just be a sleeper because it's just
if it becomes a thing.
It's going to sleep right on release.
I believe it will survive for a while.
What's a while, Cozy?
I think the servers will stay up for at least 2 years.
I give 6 months.
Yeah, that shit Mufasa, bro. It is out in the first few scenes.
6 months.
6 months, man. They'll be like,
did you say 6 weeks?
5 people playing.
I say as long as it stays in the PS Plus. After that, people are done.
Okay, so Matt says 3 months, Cozy 2 years, Uso 6 months, and Ham how long?
Dead on arrival.
DOA.
What?
He might be right too.
This thing won't make it a week, Ham. You think this thing won't trend for a week?
Mm-mm.
Okay, what about total numbers, like peak numbers? You don't think? Okay, do you think this thing will reach 100K total players, not total active, but just total players? You think it'll get 100K at least?
Yeah,
All right, that's something. That's something. It's
I
worth
guess.
developing
I
into.
mean, there's what 50 million PS5s out there.
Isn't this going to PS4 as well?
Is it?
Is it?
Yeah, I believe.
Oh,
So we're talking about hundreds of millions now.
yeah. That doesn't
There
make
you
it
go.
better. That doesn't make it better. That makes it
No?
worse.
All right.
Just
Well,
makes it
we
worse
need to
for
get up out of
optics,
here.
yeah.
Uso, please share your ads. Tell people where they can find you. Plug your stuff.
At Hawaiian Guy 808 on Twitter, YouTube, on Xbox and PlayStation, it's Uso Vinny. But yeah, my app for everything else is Hawaiian Guy 808, or just look up Uso Vinny, you'll find me.
Yeah. Also, make sure it's not Hawaiian. Hawaiian. All right. So it's a double I and no
This
A,
spelling
then the
confuses
N.
him because he's
No
Texas.
it,
'Cause he's
no
Texas.
way at the end.
No, I'm literally clearing it up for him, bro. Because if you
Yep.
search the normal spelling for Hawaiian guy, you won't find
Mhm.
Vinny.
Mhm.
No.
All right. Thank you so much for coming through, Vinny. Matt, plug your stuff, bro.
Twitter at Matt Likes Games, and then YouTube Matt Likes Games videos every Monday and Friday. No video today. That video will be out Monday. But then on Wednesdays, it's the Two Player Podcast with him still at 2 p.m. Eastern, and that is where you can find me.
Hey. One more time for the road, like Daft Punk like to say, one more time. Cozy Beluga next week Friday has a special presentation for her comic book. Make sure you come through. Bring your pals from Pal World. Bring your Pokemon as well. Everyone is welcome. All right. Make sure you bring your wallets as well. Cozy is going to be showing us some proper art. All right. She is creating her own IP, and we're going to support her tangibly, not just audibly, tangibly. All right. Also, the ad is COSYBELUGA on Twitter and Twitch. She streams sometimes, not consistent, but she does switch. She does stream. Also, she's on IG. Has 2 accounts: one for dead animals, one for weird stuff that she eats and does. Make sure you check that out. Vic the Click, thank you so much for the super chat. Says amazing episode, guys / Cozy, because she's the MVP. We know this. You don't have to tell us, but we appreciate it, Vic the Click. As for TSWS, we do this every Friday. It's called BullSittin. It's me, Cozy, Matt, hanging out with a special guest. We broke our African guest streak this week, but we got the second most famous islander on the planet, right? Like right after The Rock, it's Uso Vinny. So I think that's cool. I think that's fine. Next week, I'm gonna try and get too big. We'll see what happens. But I'm gonna try and get too big so we can keep our islander streak going. Saturdays we're off. Sundays I upload videos or do a live stream. Monday it's the crossover with Ham and K Mega. Tuesdays is the lowdown, me and Ham. And Wednesdays, like Matt said, I think it's 2 p.m. Eastern, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's a two-player podcast on Matt Likes Games YouTube channel. Thursday, Ham Solo interviews personalities and people in the gaming industry. This coming week, who is it, Ham? You're muted, bro.
Oh, you're muted.
I believe it's Pharaoh J. I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that's who it is.
All right. Make sure to come through and support very insightful conversations, getting to meet the people behind the avatars, whether it's YouTube channels, whether it's Twitter accounts, Facebook accounts, IG accounts, etc. We're trying to find space for Phil Spencer, but Ham is like fully booked. We'll see. We'll see where we can put him in there. I would like to apologize in advance for my last point this week. It's going to piss some people off, but it needs to be done. Remake Station came in there late, but thank you for coming through. Here we go. I've got a bone to pick with game publishers and their constant assault on the very idea of video game ownership. It's like they've all gathered in some secret meeting to figure out how they can squeeze every last penny out of gamers while stripping away our rights to truly own games that we purchase. First off, let's talk about these so-called live services. You want to keep updating the game and adding new content. Fantastic. But why does that mean that I should be at the mercy of your servers just to play a single player game? What happens when the servers shut down? There goes my game. Just like buying a car. I know, oh no, it's Alex hates car analogies, but humor me, all right? It's like buying a car and being told you can only drive it on roads owned by the manufacturer. It's insane. Don't get me started on DRM. I buy a game fair and square, and what do I get in return? A virtual leash attached to my gaming experience, ensuring that I'm always tethered to some online server just to prove I'm not some digital pirate. Newsflash, publishers. Pirates will always find a way, and the only people suffering are your paying customers. What about microtransactions? The most insidious money pits on God's green earth. I buy a game expecting a full experience, only to find out that to unlock certain features or get the best gear, I need to keep shelling out money. What happened to earning achievements and unlocking content through skill and dedication? Now it's all about who's willing to spend the cash or the most cash. I know you're laughing at the old African man with a receding hairline shaking his fists at the sky, but it's still a blatant cash grab that is clearly ruining the integrity of the gaming experience. It feels like we're on the brink of losing the essence of true ownership in the gaming world. These publishers are more interested in creating revenue streams than delivering a quality product to the consumers. It's time for gamers to rise up and demand our rights to true ownership before we're left with nothing more than the illusion of control in this digital playground. Thank you for listening.